Hello and welcome to this session. Today we are going to talk about how to clear your Prince 2 practitioner exam in your first attempt. Now the reason we are talking about this itself means that it is not that easy to clear the practitioner. You need to be attentive to the complete 4 or 5 day training program that you attend. You need to make notes and you need to know where to find the required information in the Prince 2 manual. So this presentation will prepare you to take the exam with confidence and clear it on your first attempt. But if you have not done the basic groundwork, then clearing this exam will definitely be a challenge. The objectives of this examination are to enable a candidate to demonstrate an understanding of Prince 2 and an ability to apply the method in an appropriate way in a given set of circumstances that are described in this scenario. The Prince 2 practitioner examination expects a depth of knowledge and understanding as well as the ability to apply that knowledge. The Prince 2 registered practitioner qualification is valid for 3 years, and in order to renew your Prince 2 practitioner status, you can either take the Prince 2 practitioner examination 3 years after you qualify or renew your status with CPD points. Now let's look at the format of the practitioner paper. You have a total of 68 questions and you require 55% or 38 correct answers to clear the exam. You need to complete this within 2.5 hours. This is an open book exam, so you can refer to the Prince 2 manual only. No additional support material is permitted, which includes post-it notes, other than tabulation of the sections of the manual, and stapled sheets. While the manual is there for support, the time pressure of the exam means that the questions have not been designed on the basis that candidates are required or even expected to use the manual to answer questions. Its use is optional. As a guide, the candidate might check the manual once or twice in an exam for a specific point, but more than that, it is likely to be counterproductive and it is not advised. You will score only 1 mark for every correct answer and there is also no negative marking. Let us now have a look at the structure of the examination. You will have a scenario booklet which will contain one scenario providing a description of the organization, the business rationale for the project and the other project level objectives. Then you will have a question booklet which will contain all the 68 questions from the different syllabus areas. And finally the answer booklet. Remember, there will be only one answer to each question unless it is otherwise clearly stated. Now this paper is set up in line with Bloom's taxonomy. So let us touch upon and understand what is this Bloom's taxonomy all about. So Bloom's taxonomy is a multi-tiered hierarchical model of classifying cognitive thinking. Bloom's taxonomy provides a framework for educators. It provides a hierarchy of levels to assist educators in designing tasks, crafting questions and for providing feedback on student work. And there are different levels in Bloom's taxonomy. So the level 1 checks your knowledge, level 2 your comprehension, level 3 application, level 4 analysis, level 5 synthesis, level 6 evaluation. So since Bloom's taxonomy is hierarchical in nature, it means that learning at the higher levels is dependent on having attained the prerequisite knowledge and skills at the lower level. So now what should we be doing during the exam? Start with reading the scenario booklet. Do not take more than 10 minutes for this. Additional information in the scenario booklet should only be read when you are told to. You need to highlight the important points. Once this is done, go through the question booklet. Now go question by question. Do not skip any question. So go to the first question, solve it, then go to the next question, solve it, and continue like that. Read the question carefully and comprehend the concept that you have already learned. Select the right answer. Do not take more than 90 seconds per question. The first correct answer that generally comes to your mind is the right one. So this is basically just a tip from our experience. The more you read through the options, the more are the chances of you getting confused. Now let's have a look at some of the question types. Read the question carefully, understand it if it is a right or a wrong decision. Then you rationale it out. So now if you look at this particular question, there are 2 yes options and there are 2 no options. Decide whether the question and the answer that comes to it is whether it's a yes or a no. And then you select the right rationale. Let's look at a second type of question. This is very similar to the previous one. You need to read the question very carefully and decide which principle it relates to. So read the question, then there are 2 principles that are there, part of the answers. So you have to decide which principle is this question relating to. Once you're able to decide which is the principle, then you need to finalize and check the rationale. Let's look at the third question type. Now this question wants you to identify if the decision made is a good decision or a poor decision. Once you're able to decide whether it is a right decision or a poor decision, then you will have to justify the rationale associated with it. Now let's look at the next type of question, which is a typical MCQ format question. You need to read the question very carefully and then go by each option provided. Read each option carefully. If you think it is wrong, cross it off. If you think it is right, then tick it. If your concepts are clear, you should be able to get the right answer and not read through the options again and again. Let me tell you once again that reading the options again and again will possibly confuse you. Finally, there is one more type of question. This is more like match the following. So you've got questions and then you've got some answers and you have to match the answer to the question. Please make a note that on the top it mentions very clearly that each answer can be used once, more than once, or not at all. So these are the different types of questions that you will come across. Good luck with your examination, and if you have any questions, do send us an email.